this is Carrie, Fullerton Professional Organizing, and today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. This is from Chelsea Brennan, and from Money Mamas, and she talks about mindsets when it comes to money. And she says 3 steps to understand your money stories. 1, accept that it's never just about the money. This is emotional work. She says, think back. What are all your what do you think about when you think about making money and money? When you were a child, what mindsets did you pick up from your parents? Were you poor? Did you have money? Did your dad only spend the money? Did your mom spend the money? Was there arguments? What things did you pick up from your childhood about money? And she says to really sit down and journal and think about all of the things that you feel about money. Now, I wrote things like I used to feel guilty about having my own business and quitting my full-time job so that I could have a business, because I always felt like I needed to contribute. Because growing up, my only my father and my father-in-law brought in the money, and but when I was growing up, I was poor, so I always felt like my dad was the only one that brought in the money. And so when I grew up, I wanted to make my own money. I never thought it. Now, here's another thing. I never thought I would ever be a part of a family, my husband and my children, that could afford vacations to places like Disney or nice places. I grew up poor, so I never looked at my life that way. So when my husband did use his bonus to take us all to Disney, I was very appreciative, and I was in awe of Disney. And now if you've been following me at all, this year we went to Colorado. We stayed in a nice cabin. It was beautiful. Those are things that I didn't grow up with. So those were things that I never really thought I would ever have the money for. So those are my mindsets. Now, I've been in business now since 2000, not the business I'm in now, but I had my own business 2000. So I've learned a lot about business and making money, mostly in the mindset department. So I have grown a lot in that way. Now, 2, Chelsea Brennan says, reflect on your earliest money memories. What jumps out? And of course, I also grew up with a lot of hand-me-downs and garage sale clothes. I think I remember once being made fun of at school because apparently she recognized something her mom had sold in a garage sale. I had no clue, but those are things I remember. And 3, she says, determine what decisions you made about money in those moments. What are the mindsets that came out of those moments? Now, I was raised, or I felt like I did not need money. So I do not have an attachment to things, but I do like money in my savings account. I have to admit that when it comes to my side business, when I had a full-time job, my side business money, I was a little bit selfish with. It was my money. I had it. I didn't really like to share it. I'm just being real honest with you guys now on this podcast. These are issues that came up while listening to Chelsea Brennan's talk on money from the exercise that she had us do. But so I'm being real honest with you. I was raised or felt like I did not need money. That is a good thing, because at least I didn't come up with there are two mindsets that I see that are negative that I didn't come on. I didn't become a brat and decide I didn't have anything, so I wanted everything name brand, and I couldn't have anything but name brand because my self-worth was tied up into that. Because I was poor, I didn't have self-worth, and now I have money and I have self-worth. So that's one negative thing I did not, I have not been raised with. I did have the opposite for a while. I did not have money, so I never did. I still have a lot of guilt on spending money. I had to learn that my business was my business, my prices were my prices, and I did have to learn not to feel guilty about what I charged, because I charge what everybody else charges. But I had one of those poor mindsets that felt guilty taking people's money. I no longer feel that way, because I know that what I do has value, and I know that people pay for the things the services that I provide. So I've learned a lot about that. But I also didn't, but I do still like to see money in my savings. I do not like to not have my own money. My husband is so great. He says we have a joint checking account for the business I have now, because it's now my full-time job. So the business I have now goes into our joint account. Was that hard for me? Absolutely. But I also knew this about my husband. My husband has always proved that he is trusted, and he does not have a problem with me spending money. I have a problem with me spending money. So therefore, having a joint account is fine. I just had to get over that hurdle of feeling attached to my money. That is the part that I struggle with. I don't want to let go of my money, so I only spend a little bit at a time. I still shop a lot at the Dollar Tree. Before COVID, I really don't do this since COVID, because it does freak me out a little bit, but I bought all of my clothes at Goodwill and the thrift store. It's good clothes. But since COVID, I didn't feel comfortable doing that. But my whole life, I have been all about saving money and only spending money on the things I absolutely love and feel like I can't do without. And as you can see behind me, I am definitely not lacking in anything at all. But these are things that Chelsea Brennan has brought to the surface while I have been listening to her. And she does have a YouTube if you guys are interested, and I will put that in my description. But for me, attachment to my money in my savings account is a real thing. But on the other hand, that is also what causes my husband to trust me. He knows that I'm not just going to go blowing money and blowing money and blowing money, that I care about the money in our account, and that brings freedom. Freedom to buy when I do absolutely want things. Security equals money in my savings account. So that is what I learned about myself. That's what I thought about during this session. So I'm now going to give you a little rundown and a review of what she said in this session. One of the foundations at Smart Money Mamas is money stories. Specifically, how all your beliefs about money impact your financial success or your financial struggle. Creating new money stories is truly a process of deprogramming. We have believed these things for years and years, and there will be moments when things come up and still bring up our old negative thoughts and our limiting beliefs. We have to make sure that we are giving our brains ways to remember over and over and over again that we believe something new now. The only thing you shouldn't do is dedicate that. The only thing you shouldn't do is decide that this means you can't do it, that you can't have a positive relationship with money, that you can't build wealth, you can't create a life that you want and afford a life that you want. A money story is our absolute core beliefs about money. These stories often come from childhood. It's what we told ourselves growing up in our childhood. Some of our core money beliefs and about how money works in the world are set by age 7. There will be times when the negative stuff comes up, when the limiting beliefs come up, when you feel like you're failing and you can't possibly get ahead. And that's part of it. And what we have to do more than anything else is build some systems to check in with ourselves. Now, spend some time thinking about your money story and figuring out where your fears are coming from. This is the exercise that I was just talking to you about that I just went through. Think about your earliest memories about money. When thinking about your earliest money memories, consider what decisions you made about money in those moments. After you have considered your money story, think about how do you feel looking at your money stories. Now that they're out in the light, now that you've thought about them and really absorbed those memories and those thoughts, do you believe them? Do you still believe them? Is this something that you would want your kids to believe? Is it positive or is it negative? Is this something that you would want to pass down? Write new positive money stories that are creating a better life for you and start creating regular habits to reflect your new money story. Create a money gratitude journal. Every day, write down something you're grateful for in your finances, that you can keep a roof over your head, that you don't have to worry about how you cover the groceries, that you're saving for retirement. And let me go back to this new positive money story. She says, take those negative stories and flip them around into positives. She said that her growing up passed down from her dad, status and money equaled self-worth and self-value. She had to relearn that and realize that money does not equal self-worth. Money does not determine how valuable she is as a human being. Now, let's go back to her saying, create a journal of money gratitude. What are you thankful for right now? Create a daily money win. It can be as simple as listening to a podcast or reading a book or transferring $5 into your savings account. Start doing some positive things around money, listening to things that will help your mindset when it comes to money. Start saving money. Start slowly paying off bills. Do things that will create a better, positive money mindset in your life. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. It was helpful to me. I had been avoiding some of these things, these stories about money, and I'm glad I dug into this YouTuber and really started so I could share this with you guys. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next podcast and video.